Good morning, students. Welcome back in class 8, subject Social Science, and as we are reading about our Constitution in Civics chapter 1, and it is the third lecture of this chapter. And in today's lecture, the topics which are to be discussed are like these: fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Yes, in today's lecture, first we will discuss about fundamental rights like this: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies, and fundamental duties. But before starting the today's discussion, first we will recapitulate our previous topics in brief. Yes, the topics which are to be recalled are like these: constitution definition, when our constitution came into force, and key features of Indian constitution. Yes, students, as we have studied in our previous lectures that Constitution is a fundamental legal document which contains rules and regulations according to that the government of any country functions. Understood? Yes. And now next topic is there when our constitution came into force. Yes, friends, as we know that 26th January every year we celebrate in our country as our Republic Day. So our constitution came into force on 26th January 1950, but it was adopted, or you can say formed, on 26th November 1950. So when our constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949, so why it came into force on 1950? Actually, it was done in order to honor the historic date, means the important date of Indian history. Actually, on 26 January 1930, the Indian National Congress adopted Purna Swaraj, or means complete independence, as its goal. So that's why this date was an important date in Indian history, and in order to honor this date, our constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Yeah, next topic, key features of Indian constitutions. We had a discussion on the key features of Indian constitution, that the features of Indian constitution are like secularism and fundamental rights, separation of power, parliamentary form of government. Already we had a discussion on these features. Now we will start today's discussion. Yes, students, so as I told that in today's lecture we will discuss about the fundamental rights. So in this first fundamental right is there, that is right to equality. Yes, friends, actually the fundamental, first I wanted to tell you the meaning of fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are some basic rights which are given to the citizens of India according to Constitution. And these fundamental rights are different from ordinary rights. And how they are different from the ordinary rights, means the other rights, ordinary legal rights. Actually, fundamental rights are different from other rights or the ordinary legal rights which are available to citizens of India. These ordinary legal rights are protected and enforced by the ordinary law, but fundamental rights are protected and guaranteed by the Constitution of India. And whether the ordinary rights may be changed or amended by the legislature by ordinary lawmaking process, but a fundamental right may only be changed by amending the constitution itself. Understood? And the Constitution of India provides six fundamental rights which are mentioned in Article 12 to 35 in Part 3 of Constitution. And these fundamental rights are very essential to everyone's lives. Actually, they are the basic features of the Constitution. So, first fundamental right is right to equality. And Article 14 to 18. These articles related to the right to equality. And it includes equality before the law, the prohibitions of discrimination on grounds of religion, caste, gender, or place of birth, equality of opportunity in matters of employment, and the abolition of untouchability. Yes, actually, friends, the rule of law is the foundation of Indian democracy that states that the laws apply in the same manner to all, irrespective of a person's status. It means that the Prime Minister of the country or a poor farmer or worker living in a remote village is subject to the same law and equal treatment. It means that all people are equal in front of law. Laws apply in the same manner to all. No person is above the law. Every citizen is subjected to the same laws and same treatment. No person can legally claim or any special treatment or privileges on any of the ground. Law makes no discrimination between a political leader, a government official, and an ordinary citizen. And Article 15 states that no citizen can be discriminated against on the basis of his or her religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Understood? Yes. And Article 16 states that state cannot discriminate against anyone in the matter of employment. And abolition of untouchability. Yes, students, Article 17 related to the abolition of untouchability. It means actually what happened in the past. As we know that in our past, some people were considered low caste people and they were discriminated by the high caste people in the society. They were not allowed to attend the schools and they were not allowed to enter in the temples and not allowed to drag the water from the wells, so in which there were a lot of discriminations among the high caste and low caste people. But now, according to the Article 17, untouchability is abolished from India. Now, means every person has access to all public places, including playground, hotel, shop, any, miss, etc. Understood? Yes. Next, our fundamental right is right to freedom, and Article 19 to 22 related to right to freedom. Yes, in which freedom of speech and expression, the right to form association, right to move freely and reside in any part of country, the right to choose any profession, occupation or business. Actually, freedom means non-interference or absence of restrictions in one's affair by others, or whether it is be the individuals or the government. Actually, the Constitution of India provides all citizens freedom under the Article 19. And to do any of these following acts, what already I have told you, like right to freedom of speech and expression, right to form assembly in a peaceful manner, right to form association and unions, right to move freely throughout the country, and right to reside in any part of the country, and right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation or business. But it does not mean that people are free to do any work which they want. No, actually it is subject to the reasonable restrictions also, and which reasonable restrictions are like that the expression of freedom means the people have freedom to speech and expression, but the expression of freedoms should not cause public nuisance or disorder, and the freedom of one should not violate others right to freedom. Freedom is not unlimited right to do what one wants. Understood? Yes. Now, next our fundamental right is there, that is right against exploitation. Yes, students. The Constitution of India provides different and clear provisions to prevent exploitations of the weaker sections of the society. And the Constitution prohibits the following practices like forced labor, child labor, human trafficking. Actually, what does it mean? Like first is forced labor, and in which like forced labor or begar in any form is illegal and it is prohibited, or service without that means which is called and bonded labor if the practice run through life of the worker, means no people can force any persons to do work without his or her wish. Next one is child labor. Actually, child labor is also prohibited. The children below the 14 years of age cannot be employed to work in any factory or mine or in any other, means you can say hazard industries such as railways and airport, or that in any beadi making industries or crackers making industries, firecrackers, this is there, matches, printing, dyeing. Means in this type of industries, the children below the 14 years of age are not allowed to do work. Understood? Yes, next one is there, that is human trafficking. It means selling or that buying of human beings, especially women and children. Means this type of action is also illegal and banned in India. Next one is there, that is right to freedom of religion. Yes, students, right to freedom of religion. As we know that India is a secular state, we have learnt or studied in the features of Indian Constitution that secularism is the important feature of Indian Constitution. So India is a secular state, which means that state has no official religion, and India does not promote or protect any one religion over the other religion. Understood? Yes. Actually, in every citizen in India has liberty to profess, practice, and propagate the religions that he or she believes in it. Okay, means every person has the freedom to follow any religion according to their choice. This is there, and they are also means free to do or practice any system, belief, custom, or rituals. You can say what his or her religion say to do. Like people keep fast, Hindus people keep fast in Navratras, and Muslim keep fast in Ramjan. So means they are free to do anything or practice any custom or belief what his or her religion say to do. This is there. Yes, next one is there, that is cultural and educational rights. And article, which article related to this? 2930. Yes, actually, what is there? The democracy is based upon the wishes of the majority. In this system, the right and the interest of the minorities need to be protected by developing a mechanism that cannot be changed prejudicially or by the majority. This is there. Actually, in a democratic country, special protection is provided in the constitution to preserve and develop the language, culture, and religion of minorities. This is there, and the minorities are the people those who are less in number, means less the total less than the half of the total population of any country, and it includes the tribal people, means the people living in forest, or the people those who are living in any remote areas, means the people those who are very less in number. So for the protections of their interest, or that our constitution provides a fundamental right, that is cultural and educational rights, and article 29 and 30 provides cultural and educational rights, and which states that all minorities, religious or linguistic groups having a different language, script, or culture of its own can set up their own educational institutions in order to preserve and develop their language, script, or culture. Yes, next one is their right to constitutional remedies. Article 32 to 35. Yes, students. Actually, this allows citizens to move to the court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the states. Yes, a person aggrieved by the violation of any of his or her fundamental right can approach either to the Supreme Court or High Court, okay, for the protections of his or her fundamental rights. This is there. Okay, yes, now miss, if someone violates someone's fundamental rights, so then he or she can approach either a high court or directly to the Supreme Court to get proper remedy. Now, our next topic is there, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. Yes, what is this? Actually, the Directive Principle of State Policy are the directives to the state and laid down by our constitutions to promote social economic equality and establish a welfare society. And these, you can say, these directive principles have their own importance because they are in the form of direction to the state to achieve the following objectives. So what are the objectives of the state in form of directive principles? Like they aim at secure social and economic equality, they aim to promote international peace and security, and they aim at establishing grassroots level democracy and a welfare state. Yes, so in this way, our today's lecture and means our chapter is also completed. Now note down your homework. You have to write the answer of the following questions in your fair notebook. Yes, for first question is there, explain the meaning and significance of directive principles of state policy. Next, explain right to equality in detail. Question number third, when was the constitution completed by the Constituent Assembly and when was it enforced? What do you understand by Constituent Assembly? This is your homework. Now we will have a discussion on our homework solution of lecture 2. Write the answer of the following question, means these questions were given to you to solve, and in which first question is there, define the preamble of Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution begins with a preface or a short introduction called the preamble. It provides a key to understand the Constitution. It lists the sources of authority, the system of government, the objectives to be achieved by the political system, and the ways of adoption and enactment of our Constitution. It highlights the goals and aspirations of the Indians. Yes, next question. What were the challenges before the members of Constituent Assembly? Yes, the following were the challenges before the Constituent Assembly. First is the country was made up of different communities who spoke different languages, practiced different religions, and had different cultures. At the time of the constitution was being written, the country was going through considerable turmoil. The social and economic condition of the vast mass of people appeared dismal, and poverty was another major challenge in front of the member of Constituent Assembly. List all the fundamental rights mentioned in the Constitution. Is the fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution include right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. Yes, what do you mean by federal form of government and why is it important? Yes, our constitution provides for a federal form of government. This means that the responsibility of governing our country has been divided into central government and the state government. And for that, we have the three level of government: union government, state government, and Panchayati Raj. Yes, Panchayati Raj is the third tier of the government. And why this separation is necessary? Yes, students, actually this separation is necessary to make positive efforts for the development of the country, means development of the whole country, in the center also, as well as in the state also, and villages also. So understood? So in this way, our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the summary of the chapters. Thank you.